First story. Wife of 13 years was cheating for 9 of them. So I just recently discovered that my wife of 13 years has really never been loyal. I really found this out 2 years ago, but never knew the full extent. The first time I discovered her cheating, I was checking an old cell phone of my wife's to get it ready to give to my oldest kid. There was an email and password saved in the notes, so I logged in out of curiosity. It was a fake persona my wife created for herself to post ads on Craigslist selling her body for money. She was 3 months pregnant with my second child at this time. Numerous chats with at least 15-20 guys looking to hook up with her. Nudes sent back and forth, pictures of things my wife would never send me. And it went on for 3 months. I confronted her, and she claimed she didn't remember any of it as she had pregnancy brain. Since it had all happened 7 years before I discovered it, like an idiot, I tried to let it go. We tried a counseling appointment but only did one. Our relationship was rocky at this point. Just 3 weeks ago, I learned all the rest of it. An ex-friend of hers reached out to me to confess everything. My wife has had numerous affairs behind my back. The ex-friend stopped being friends because she didn't want to cover for my wife anymore. So far, I learned that around 2019, she had met a guy at a weed dispensary and became infatuated with him. She was seeing him for months before he finally told her no because he found out about me. Apparently they physically got together once after this. I confirmed all of this upon finding my wife's journal. She wrote all about him in it. I have his full name. Then I also learned that she was having an affair with an ex-co-worker of hers. Some were around 6-8 months that one lasted. Finally, she has been seeing this guy she met on Bumble for 2 years, has gone on overnight camping hiking trips with him and used the cover of her now ex-friend. I confronted her on all of this, and she denied everything. When shown the evidence, she claims it was forged evidence. Then, after a while, admits to half of it, then denies it all again. I handed her divorce papers this past Monday. Since I have gotten a few messages about this now, no, I will not be sharing my wife's nude pregnant photos. The hell is wrong with you people? Update. Best ways to occupy my mind? It's been 11 days since I found out my wife of 13 years has been cheating on me for the last 8 of them with multiple different people throughout. I'm struggling to find ways to occupy my mind so I don't start thinking about all of it and having full-blown panic attacks. Other times, I come across little bits of evidence and then spiral all the way down the rabbit hole of searching for more evidence, none of which makes me feel any better. Like today, while looking for a toy for my son, I came across a receipt for Victoria's Secret for a purchase made just 5 days ago. The same day I came back from working out of town after confronting her. I rarely work out of town and was only gone for 4 days. I asked if she planned on coming home that night, or planning to sleep in our bed as I would find other accommodations. She said she would find somewhere else to stay for the night and was going to respect my time with the kids and allow me to have a good night. She must have also had a good night, as she purchased crotchless lingerie for that evening according to the receipt. Then I begin to spiral down again, seeing if I can discover who she was with, where did she go, etc. Does it ever end? Will I ever stop trying to find answers? I want to stop. It never makes me feel better, but I keep looking. How can I get myself to stop? Update. Having a bad day today. It's been 3 weeks since D-Day, and I'm struggling today. I can't stop thinking about it all. I can't stop thinking about how to find more evidence to understand my betrayal. I just can't let it go today. Yesterday was fine. I've just been angry at my STBXW, so it's been easy to handle it. But today, my blood pressure is spiked, pulse hasn't come down from 110 for hours, and I am so full of anxiety. I've tried playing dumb mind-consuming games. I've tried doing chores. I pressure washed my entire back patio. I've cleaned my house. I've tried reading. Nothing seems to work today. Guess it's just going to be one of those days. Edited to add, I've used this shitty feeling to finally push me over the edge and pay the lawyer. The STBXW has now been informed by my lawyer. Still don't feel any better, but I want these bad days to start getting behind me. Update. Had to call the cops tonight. Slight update to my story. Look in my post history if you want. She came home from a DR appointment with the kids today and immediately started bitching about how I'm not paying my fair share, while in the same breath saying how she won't be paying her share of the mortgage. I gray rocked as best as I could, but after 10 solid minutes of her yelling and berating me, in front of our children no less, I finally snapped. I yelled as loud as I could, telling her to shut up. Well, that set her right off. I had suddenly become such a terrifying monster. She lost her absolute shit, freaking out, trying to drag the kids out of the house, against their will. I blocked her from taking them anywhere. She would not be leaving and driving in that state with my kids. So I phoned the cops. I'm currently writing this from the comfort of my own couch. I just put the kids in bed, and she went to stay with her sister for the night. The cops thought that was for the best. I think she has finally realized the gravity of the situation. Her free ride is over from me. Her deadline to respond to my lawyer was last Monday, and I had to threaten her with a court order for her to respond. She will try and drag this on. I'm just so done with it all. But I get to sleep in my own bed tonight, and not in the basement. Update. It affects so much of my life. I know it's way too early for me to start dating again, but I've just been thinking about looking to see what is out there. It's only been over a month since D-Day. The separation has only just begun, but my body has been craving attention lately. Not just physical attention, but emotional as well. Just someone to talk to who isn't a family member or friend. I'm honestly not even looking for sex. So I thought about opening an account on Tinder or something. Then it dawns on me that I might see my STBXW on there. I do know she used one site before. Then the anxiety kicked in. Then the start of a panic attack. Then me just wanting to curl into a ball in the corner, and just all downhill from there. I never even looked at any apps, just thought about it, and that was enough. It's annoying how much of my life has been messed up by her, or just the thought of running into her on a dating app. How far into the future will I be able to use one without worry? I know one day I will be so much better. For now, it just sucks. Update. Learning where I stand. This weekend was my birthday, and also Father's Day. It was also the deadline for my STBXW to hand over her financial disclosure to my lawyer. It has been one of the worst weekends of my life, to be honest. To start, I got her financials the day before my birthday. I discovered that she has racked up another $15,000 of debt on her credit cards since last August, when I got a second mortgage to help pay off a lot of debt. She was supposed to pay off her credit cards, 5 of them, and then cancel 3. She did not. She canceled only 1. Her total debt is now at $45,000. I never knew it was that bad. So I spent the night before my birthday going through 360 pages of financial records to see what I was actually expected to pay back. Not fun. The day of my birthday was all right. She texted me a happy birthday message, as did her sister. However, her other sister, mother, and father said nothing. I saw her mother when I got home from work, as she was watching my children, yet she said absolutely nothing. Didn't even say goodbye when she left. I was very close with the rest of her family, so this was fairly upsetting, but now I know where I stand with them. I didn't expect them to take my side, but I did expect at least a small level of civility. I have known them for over 20 years, and now I'm persona non grata over her actions. Today she texted me, "Happy Father's Day," and for some reason it just rubbed me the wrong way today. Like everything is perfectly fine in our lives. Like she isn't trying to claim back the gift down payment her father gave us to buy our house, which I don't even remember signing, but there goes $20,000 plus. Like she isn't trying to claim our holiday camper her mother gifted me 7 years ago. It was registered in my STBXW's name, as she already had a plate for a trailer, and it made it easier at the time. Like she isn't lying on her financials and overvaluing the trailer, undervaluing her truck, and claiming a bunch of other expenses while asking for spousal support. Like she hasn't stated that she won't be paying her share of the mortgages or utilities as she has credit cards to pay for. My lawyer still states that she has every right to live here while paying nothing into it. So I can't just kick her out. Like she hasn't bought groceries for the house for over a month now. She has pulled some horrendous shit and shredded my mental state to tiny shreds, and just keeps going further. I feel like justice will not be served for me. I can already picture her stupid smug face when I am ordered to give her spousal support and child support, even if we have 50-50 custody. It drives me insane. I'm trying to put on a brave face today, but I'm just highly annoyed. What was supposed to be a great weekend for me has turned into anger and depression while I clean the house, because no one else is, instead of enjoying a fun time with my children. I just needed to vent. Update. Wife of 13 years, cheated for 9 of them. Update. Small update in my story. I had made a previous post about dating and how soon was too soon. Well, after only a few weeks I met someone. However, I was not actively using dating apps or anything. It was a friend of a friend and we met at said friend's house. We just instantly hit it off. I went full disclosure though, saying I'm still in the middle of a separation. I have 3 kids. I'm really not looking for a relationship or even know what I'm looking for. I'm currently living with the ex. All my red flags were full mast and in the breeze. Turns out, she also just left a relationship from her boyfriend cheating. She was acting as stepmom to his 3 kids, and he took advantage of that. She was not looking for a relationship just yet either. We have gone out for dinner and drinks once, but have talked every day since we met. She has currently left for a short vacation to see her parents back home, but we have plans to meet up again once she is back. We have talked about hypothetical relationships and the boundaries we would set in them. She wouldn't want to become a stepmom again anytime soon, and I wouldn't expect anyone to jump on that role for a while either. There were other healthy boundaries talked about as well. It all seemed too perfect, and that's what kind of frightens me. I'm 2 months from D-Day, but I realized that I checked out of that relationship a long time ago, which is maybe why I have moved on so easily. However, am I already smitten with this woman because of the new attention, which is really normal attention, with some serious flirtation? Or is it because I have actually found someone I truly am interested in and them in me? She knows my limited free schedule right now, and has suggested she can change her schedule to give us more free time on the one real free day I have. Small things like this lead me to believe she might also have some feelings for me, or at least something worth exploring. Now, the STBXW can tell that I am much happier lately. She hears the notifications going off on my phone. All those little things I used to notice when she was cheating. For some reason, she seems to be upset by this. Isn't that weird? I guess I'm not allowed to be happy. Either way, I will be taking it very slow with this woman. If this is just me receiving normal attention, I don't want to ruin the friendship from it, so I will keep it in my pants and just see what progresses. As far as my separation is going, the STBXW is currently not paying for anything except her credit cards. She is also taking her sweet time sending in documents and just delaying everything for as long as possible. I don't think she realizes that I will be taking back all of her share of the bills that I have been paying for. I think she just sees dollar signs. Soon enough she will be out of my house. Maybe I don't even keep the house. But I will get to sleep in my own room on a real bed, wherever that may be. Second story. I'm concerned about my 30M wife's 28F new friend, 29F, and am doubting her intentions. Would appreciate your perspective. I 30M, have been married to my wife Sam, 28F, for 3 years. About a year ago, we moved to a new city because I was offered a promotion. Sam was hesitant at first but soon came around to the idea. Since arriving in the city, we have both been busy with work and have struggled to make new friends. Around 4 months in, Sam told me she had met a new friend, Jane, 29F, and they had a lot in common. I was happy for her, and we planned a double date with Jane and her husband a few weeks later. At the first dinner, we started to make the usual small talk, but when I tried to engage with Jane, she seemed cold and dismissive. For the rest of the night, I was left to speak to the husband while my wife and Jane were deep in conversation. Every time I tried to join their chat, Jane started talking to my wife again. The husband never tried to get involved. I brushed this off as Jane may be being a bit shy around new people and forgot about it. Over the next month, Sam and Jane would text constantly, have long phone calls at night, and meet up a couple of times a week for coffee lunch. This didn't bother me, and I just thought that they were forming a close friendship. We then went out again for dinner. And the same thing happened, although Jane spoke to the whole group more this time. But she made a number of comments alluding to her being bisexual and her and husband being in some sort of open relationship. When we moved on to a bar, Jane sat across from my wife and started openly flirting with her. She would make suggestive comments, compliment her, and use any excuse to make physical contact with her, touching her hands, shoulders, etc. When we got home, I made a joke asking Sam if she enjoyed her date with Jane. She looked confused and asked what I meant. I said that Jane had made me a bit uncomfortable with her flirting, but she said that's just how she is. I told her that I wasn't sure Jane just wanted to be friends and asked her to be careful. For reference, Sam has never shown any real interest in women, and as far as I know, she's straight. She is also endearingly naive and will always see the best in people. The texting and calls continued, and Sam started going over to Jane's apartment at least once a week and wouldn't come home until quite late. I was wary, but she would always tell me what they had done, watched, etc. After one of these visits, I asked what Jane's husband was up to and was slightly shocked to hear that he was away on a business trip. Apparently he traveled a lot and Jane didn't like being home alone. This came to a boiling point a few weeks ago, when I took Jane's husband to play golf. We were supposed to go out for drinks dinner after with the other 2 guys, but they both had to cancel last minute. On the 10-minute drive back to my house, I could see Jane's husband texting Jane. Jane and Sam were supposed to be going out for shopping and lunch, but when we arrived at my place, they both looked flustered, sitting at opposite ends of the couch. We made awkward small talk for a while, but I went into the bedroom. I noticed Jane's smartwatch sitting by the bed. They left quickly and I decided it was time to talk to Sam. I casually asked her what she bought at the mall and where they went for lunch. She said they decided to stay home instead because Jane had a headache. I asked her to be honest about what they had done, and she swore that they had just chatted all afternoon and they were just friends. I told her I was uncomfortable with a lot of things that have happened, but she tried to reassure me. I noticed later that the smartwatch was gone, but I didn't bring this up to Sam. Since then there have been no phone calls or messages while I was around, and Sam seemed extra loving and attentive. She rarely brought up Jane, but last night she mentioned that she was going to a concert with Jane on Saturday, then would crash at her place. I said I wasn't comfortable with this and offered to pick her up instead. She got angry and said that I was acting controlling and crazy, then went to bed. We haven't spoken since, but am I overreacting here? Should I try to stop her from staying over on Saturday? I think I trust Sam, but something is telling me that her relationship with Jane is not just as friends. Should I snoop? Wife made a new friend and I am concerned about their close relationship. Update. Many of you were asking for an update, so here you go. Original post is in my profile. After reading your messages and comments, my head was a mess. I decided I needed some firm proof that Sam was cheating before I confronted her. When I got home from work, Sam had made dinner as normal and sat with me while I ate. I acted normally with her, and she caught me off guard by apologizing for her behavior the night before. She asked if I was still willing to pick her up, or she would even try to find someone selling a ticket if I wanted to come along. I asked her to try to find a ticket and she seemed happy. The rest of the night was normal, and after we went to bed, I couldn't sleep. Around 1 a.m., Sam was sound asleep, so I grabbed her phone and went to the bathroom. I unlocked it. We know each other's passcodes and braced myself. I knew they texted each other on WhatsApp, so I started by trying to find any other messaging apps. I checked everywhere and used the trick someone recommended of looking at the battery usage to see the most used apps. I didn't find anything. Sam is not into social media and doesn't use Instagram, Snapchat, etc. I also checked her browser history, emails, photos, call logs, deleted items, etc. and couldn't find anything out of the ordinary. I decided to check WhatsApp next and opened the chat with Jane. I found hundreds of messages, sometimes up to 50 per day between them. Around 99% of them were completely normal, talking about TV shows, books, music, recipes, family, day-to-day life, etc. The other 1% that might be a bit suspect included: Jane would often bring up spicy parts of books and TV shows and want to talk about it. This happened regularly and Sam would engage, but not in too much detail. One conversation about sex that Jane initiated, which came from a scene in a book. She was complaining that her husband is submissive and got quite explicit. Sam shared a bit too much about our sex life, but nothing outrageous, and she was very complimentary about me. Jane replied she was jealous in a joking way with some emojis. Jane casually mentioned that she had a friend over a few times. When Sam asked what she was up to, Sam's replies were always along the lines of "have fun." Jane would complain about her husband a lot and ask about our relationship. Again, Sam was complimentary and didn't say anything particularly negative about me. Jane sent Sam a link to a sex toy asking for her opinion. Sam replied, "Oh yeah, we have one of those, it's great." There were no nudes or anything pointing towards them having had sex. Nothing had been deleted. I checked some of the chats with her other friends and they were very similar. What was most concerning was the way which Jane texted Sam. She would always initiate the conversation and follow up 3-4 times until Sam responded. She would then start calling if she didn't respond. There were also a few messages where Jane's tone changed when Sam wouldn't reply. She would become less friendly and cold. Also, when Jane asked Sam to do something together, there was always a subtle guilt trip added, like she didn't want to go alone because of social anxiety. She was scared being home by herself, etc. The messages calls slowed down in the last few weeks because they were both complaining about being busy and Jane had been out of town. Even though I didn't find the smoking gun I was looking for, it's clear that Jane and her weird husband are bad news for our marriage. We will be having a come to Jesus conversation tonight where I will get the truth because Sam is a terrible liar. If nothing more has happened, I will make it clear that divorce is still on the table if these creeps are not permanently and immediately removed from our lives. Final update. First of all, my original post was not intended to cover all of the things that led to me being suspicious of Sam's relationship with Jane. There were a number of other factors, for example, Sam prioritizing communicating and spending time with Jane over me. Sam not talking about Jane like she did with her other friends, etc. We did talk about most of this at the time because, believe it or not, we do have good and regular communication. Now on to the update. Sam came home on Friday and we sat down to talk after dinner. This was not a big showdown but just normal conversation that lasted many hours. Here is a summary. 1. Sam originally loved spending time with Jane, but it became too intense and weird for her a few months ago. She feels Jane is too needy and controlling, but didn't want to lose her only close friend in this city. 2. Sam knows that Jane has a crush on her, but made it clear that she was happily married and straight. She should have told me about this but knew that I wouldn't be okay with it. 3. Nothing physical happened between them. Jane tried to initiate physical contact in a playful way and made suggestive comments about Sam, her body, etc. Sam shut this down. 4. Sam told me that she wanted to cut down contact with Jane and focus more on our relationship and spending time with a new friend she has made. As for my concerns, here is Sam's explanation. Jane's attitude towards me. Apparently she doesn't like most men and treats her husband terribly. The flustered, awkward situation when I came home from golf. Jane was showing Sam some spicy scenes from a new TV show. They didn't realize we were coming back early and switched the TV off as we came through the door. The watch. Jane was going to borrow a dress for a wedding and went into our bedroom to try some on. Sam assumes she took it off, and when she saw it, she put it in her bag to give it back to her later. Sam's reaction when I asked her not to crash at Jane's apartment. Apparently Jane had planned a girls' night after and Sam thought she would get angry if she cancelled. I also told Sam that I snooped on her phone. She was initially angry but understood why I did it and forgave me. We both apologized to each other and went to bed. I managed to get a ticket for the concert and went with Sam and Jane last night. Jane made some thinly veiled comments, jokes about me being their chaperone, etc., but I laughed it off. We met another couple there and I ended up hanging out with the other husband while the ladies danced, etc. Long story short, we are good. I trust my wife and we had a long conversation about boundaries, etc. Thanks to all of you that provided constructive, helpful comments, but given the number of insults and offensive messages I've received, I won't be coming to Reddit for advice again anytime soon. Third story. Just found out that my girlfriend of 7 months has been cheating on me for the last 5 months. I was in a romantic relationship and my girlfriend cheated on me. I come from a family where my mother cheated before, so I am really triggered by it. After I found out, I feel sick, and whenever I think about it I feel my heart racing. I don't know what to do. We together for 7 months. I found out that she was cheating emotional and physically for the last 6 months. I don't know what to do. Update. Thanks for all the advice in the comments. It helped out. So I called her last night and confronted her about everything. At first she denied everything, but when I told her that my friend saw them together at a restaurant kissing, she just hung up and blocked me even before I could ask her why did she do it. I reached out to our mutual friends about everything. So the guy is her ex-boyfriend. Everything is so heartbreaking for me. I don't know if I can trust someone again. I just don't want to date anymore. I tried reaching out to by text and Insta for some closure but it seems that she has blocked me on everything. Update. I blocked her and most of my friends after everything that happened. Most of my close friends are out of state now for work or studies, but they still did a group video call and helped me with everything. One of my friend was dating a girl who is friends with my ex-girlfriend. He offered to find out what really happened, but I told him not to bother. So now to today, it is my birthday. I don't like celebrating my birthday due some things that happened years ago. So normally I have an early lunch with my friends and a small dinner party with my parents and close friends and family. I got a call from my friend, who gathered all the details about the affair and the story that she told everyone. Basically she angry with her boyfriend who was to Europe for a couple of months for an internship. So they broke up. I started dating her soon after. She was using me to make him feel jealous. When he came back they got together and he really didn't mind her dating me as he was also dating someone else on the side. I feel like an idiot for not seeing any of this after me finding out. She's starting telling everyone about our bedroom life. She is telling everyone that I am not good as her boyfriend and that I was not able to satisfy her, etc. I need a break from everything. Thanked my friend for everything and told him not to tell me about her anymore. I feel really insecure about my size and I told her about this when we started dating. I tried to compensate it by going down on her and other ways, but now with her telling everyone. Feel like an idiot. Please tell me what to do. Update. Just look at couple of gyms in the area planning to join and get back in shape. I told my ex-girlfriend mom everything that happened. We were really close. Haven't been able to sleep properly for couple of days since I found out. I keep dreaming about her and the guy. Trying to forget everything, but it is bad. Some background: this my second relationship. The first one also ended badly as I was going to a bad POC. My parents were constantly fighting about my mom's problems. She cheated couple of times, but dad always took her back. This recent incident has made it tough for me to trust people and of having a relationship. Will I ever be able to trust my future partners? Update. I followed the advice that I got from everyone here and distanced myself from her and her friends. Yesterday her father called me and wanted to meet up and talk, but I shut him and blocked his number. I went out with an old friend for earlier today drinks and meet her father and my friend near home. An hour ago, he wanted to talk. I didn't want to make a scene, so decided to hear him out. He didn't want me to make the matter a big deal as it will affect her reputation. I just started to laugh at him. I don't know if it was the vodka or the smoke. I unloaded everything that I had been holding back. He just stood there and listened to everything that I had to say. He told me that he was sorry for everything and move on. He begged me not to tell my aunt about it. I asked him what he was talking about. It turns out she is trying to get a scholarship and a research assistant job at the university my aunt is professor in. They are afraid that I might tank her chance get in. I told him think about it. Now that I know, I tempted to ask my aunt not give her the opportunity. Will I be an asshole if I do his? Please tell me what to do. I really want to hurt her. Edit. I had a fight with my parents about telling my aunt everything. They told me to let everything go and to forgive her. I left the house and went no contact with them. I don't know why they can't see this from my side. I am hurt and they don't care. Last update. This will be my last update. I have already booked my flight for going to another state in the south. I am moving in with an old friend who is helping me look a job there. So after meeting with her father, I sat down with my parents and told them everything that happened. They were very sympathetic to everything. My mom took it very hard at first, but when I told her that I want to tell my aunt everything, she told me that she didn't want me to tell her family about anything about my relationship and breakup. She wants to keep it between us. I didn't know what to say. I told her that I was meeting my aunt for dinner on Saturday. She wanted me to cancel it. My father didn't say anything the entire time. I think my mom doesn't want her family to think about her past, but I am hurting. I am staying with a college friend for now. I just want to stay away from everything. I have blocked my parents. I called my aunt and told her everything about my ex-girlfriend. It is up to her to decide. My dad called from his friend's cell and wanted to meet up. I met him yesterday. He gave me some money and wanted me to keep in contact with him. He told me that he loves mom and he forgave her, but it doesn't mean that I have to take him as an example. I felt relieved to some extent. I just wanted to get away from this mess. My friend promised me that he will arrange a decent job for me there. So bye guys, and thanks for everything. I am deleting all my social media apps for some time in the future. I don't want to know what's happening with her. I have a flight booked for Friday. I hope everything works out fine.